right, collectors, thanks for joining me today, September 1st, 2024. Gosh, has it already been this far into the year? It feels like I don't know, it didn't feel that long. But the year, we're already into the 9th month. Here we are, very close to getting on the 3rd tier of this particular HasLab. Anyways, we're going to talk, we've got some news today. We've got some news about the channel. We've got some news about, toys and stuff going on as well. And today, this is a giveaway video. So in this video, I'll let you know at the end what to comment about, and that way I can count your vote in the comments below. So without further ado, let's talk about some toy news that came out this week, and let's eventually get to the haul. It's a very interesting haul, very eclectic, if I can call it that. But I dig it. It's good. It's all good. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with, of course, this is a G.I. Joe channel, military type of stuff. Of course, I also like to collect all this other stuff, the Marvel Universe, and occasionally an old school wrestler. But I really like my G.I. Joe stuff and military type stuff. But anyways, the HasLab for the G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Rattler. I'm pretty sure we're going to hit it at this point. I think we're at 15,200. Several people have showed, how other HasLabs have tracked over the years, and this one's on par to sell between 22 and 24,000 units. So we've got that in the bag. I'm going to go ahead and probably back one more, just because I really want to have one mint in box, and I want to have another one that's open, and I don't know, maybe I'll have two. They can fly in formation. Who knows? But anyways, I'm very excited about that. I'm glad it's moved forward. I'm still kind of ticked off about that craptastic patch tier, which is just trash. But I really dig the Baroness, really dig the Gunner, Wild Weasel, looking fantastic. Great figures. Anyways, moving on. The other thing in G.I. Joe news that's kind of funny to me. Apparently, I don't know how many of these were released. The estimate out there is about 1,000 of these are out in the wild. And I am a completist for the G.I. Joe line, but to a degree. I'm not a completist to where I have to have the blue-eyed, I think it was the blue-eyed beachhead versus the green-eyed beachhead, or the black collar Cobra infantry soldier versus the blue, I don't know, all that. I just have to have the figure, the packaging and a lot of the variants, unless it's a huge variation, right? Maybe Sergeant Slaughter had a red shirt versus a dark shirt, but a red shirt versus a black shirt, something like that. Something, huge that you could really tell. Other than that, just the figure and I'm good. But apparently this has caused a little bit of a kerfuffle out there. Sergeant Slaughter's packaging. Apparently, some of these got out where Sergeant Slaughter's not wearing his campaign hat. An interesting fact about Sergeant Slaughter, he never served in the military. But apparently he knew people that did. So that's fine. It's funny to me. It's a character, right? Actors play characters. And I see no difference here between, a WWE character versus an actor playing a military character in a TV show, right? He turns on his Sergeant Slaughter whenever he goes to entertain or perform. So, but anyways, Sergeant Slaughter in this packaging that you see before you, apparently some got out, and Sergeant Slaughter was like, well, that's not me because I'm not wearing my campaign hat and my glasses. But Hasbro was like, well, oops, we've already let a bunch of these out into the open. Well, people are selling these now for like $70 to $100 on eBay. Am I going to pick one up? No, probably not. I'm not going to jump through hoops. Maybe if I see it at a convention or something for less than $50, or if it drops down to $50 on eBay, I'll pick it up, this variant. But otherwise, it's not going to freak me out, that I need to have it. Most of us will get this version. The one with the campaign hat. That's just, it is what it is. That's what you're going to get. The majority of them are this. Now, there have been some people who've gotten them, and I think it was, I don't know who it was, but it was some foreign retailer who had a whole bunch of them, you know, had several of them, and he sold them. So it's not a big deal to me. I just thought it was interesting, the packaging stuff. Anyways, moving on. Again, let's talk about, there's not a lot of Hasbro G.I. Joe news out there. So that's why we're going to talk about a little bit about Gridiron. Gridiron just released this limited edition recon vehicle loadout for the Stinger. So basically it's trying to make it into a recon vehicle versus, you know, a missile type vehicle. I'm okay with that. I like it. I like all the upgrades that Gridiron. None of it's necessary. Everybody says, no thanks, I'll buy me 2 Stingers. Okay, go buy you 2 Stingers. It's fine. This is just an option. You don't have to buy this stuff. This is a really niche product by an American company that's just giving us options. I can also do math. I know I can math in my head. So, but yeah, it's an option. And if you don't want it, you don't have to get it, but I like it. And I like this enemy recon vehicle loadout. I like options. So I picked one of these up. Now, be careful when you do it though, because I want to be very clear on this. You get what's in this picture. You do not see any tires in this picture, do you? The tires are not part of this package. You get that's in this package. So it's a lot of the stuff that you see on the vehicle, the door frame, the front part of it and stuff, some weapons, a snorkel, the hood, like a bunch of the other little stuff that goes along with it, but you won't get the tires. So if you want that look that you saw previously, you got to get the tires. Now, they also offered this package. So do you see this vehicle here with the artillery on it and that extra, like a 6-wheeler that it has on the back? That is only possible if you buy 2 things. So number 1, you have to get this, the V00533 Enemy Ground Pounder APC Edition. So that's the part in the back that turns it into kind of like a truck, into like a 6-wheeler, right? But then you also have to pick up the V00534 Impact 46H Heavy Ground Pounder Upper, which essentially means, now I didn't pick this portion up. I picked up the first 2 things that you saw, the thing that turns into a truck, and which is a command center type, and then the recon vehicle stuff. I have yet to pick this particular piece up. I'll eventually pick it up. I like it. It looks neat, but I am not going to pick it up just yet. So yeah, you have to pick up 2 things in order to make it look like that other vehicle. So that's what's out there. Let's also talk about Ramen toys. This weekend, or was it yesterday? I don't know. Yesterday, day before, Ramen Toys came out with their pre-orders, August 30th. So it was the day before yesterday. Ramen Toys came out with their pre-orders for their REVs. I don't know what the REV stands for. I'm sure somebody will tell me. Recreational vehicle. I don't know. But anyways, and before you're sorry, you see that little, where my logo is on top? I've ordered that Raider. So I ordered the Raider. Very excited to get it, but he has different options here. Of course, shipping's a bit of a killer, so you already know. It's nobody's, hey, well, that's half the price. I know. It's okay. If you don't want to order it, then don't order it, or wait till Big Bad's Toy Store gets some in stock, and then order from there. If you're that hard up about it, then do that. But if you notice here, he's actually knocking quite a bit off the price to cover the shipping. So if you don't do the early bird special, then you're really not going to get any free shipping whatsoever. But I'm pretty sure Ace is doing this to help us out, to offset some of that cost, and that's fantastic. I love the fact that he's doing that. So I picked up the Raider because to me it has everything that the black REV has, and you can customize it a little bit too with that Raider. So I'm excited to get that Raider. So that's that. And in case you guys didn't know, again, where the logos are, I picked up the Hunter in olive drab. I picked up the phalanx accessory for it in olive drab, and then I picked up the Amphisbane tank. Now, in addition to what I just talked about earlier with the bread car, he's also giving these have been extended until September 20th for the early bird special. And then he's also introduced the bridge layer for the Amphis Bane. I don't know what you would call it. He probably said it in the stream, so correct me if I'm wrong. And then he also did the bridge layer, the phalanx for the Cobra tank. And then he also did the bridge layer and the phalanx for the Desert Tan version that was at JoeCon, I believe, that he sold online and at JoeCon, which is great. Great for I really appreciate that. Ramen Toys bringing it. Hopefully this will be out very soon, you know. Oh, and the bread car is supposed to be out first quarter 2025 if you order it now, which is, wow, that's fantastic. That's really quick. So the quicker, to me, it's Ramen Toys has always shipped out stuff in kind of like the order it was received. So if you wait like the HasLab until the very end, well, then you're probably going to get your Ramen Racer until the very end or whatever you ordered from them. You know, I was one of the first ones to jump on that Ramen Racer and order it as soon as I heard about it. So that's why I was one of the first ones to get it. So just be aware of that. That's my experience with them. Also, just got notified that my Venom, my Walmart exclusive Venom, will be here today. I'm very excited about that. I don't know if it's going to make it into the haul at the end of the video, but if it shows up today, I'm putting it in the haul. Anyways, I'm excited that the Walmart came through on that. It's awesome. It's awesome. What else do we have? Speaking of some Marvel news and Spider-Man related stuff, you've got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse here. I don't know how many of you guys watched the second movie. Yes, that is a pink robe, soft goods. But you got Peter Parker, one of the Peter Parkers in this get-up. I don't know what else comes with them. I don't know if the little girl is, movable or anything like that if she comes out. Who knows? But this is something that SH Figure Arts is putting out. Again, I'm very, very leery of SH Figure Arts because 3 out of the 4 past things that I've bought from them have been, have crumbled in my hand. So I tell you about it because it looks cool, but you can't even touch it with a feather because it'll start to disintegrate on you. So just be aware of that. Just be aware of that, folks. I'd rather go with Mafex sometimes because the quality control on Figure Arts, man. Anyways, buyer beware. We've got the Fall Geek Out going on, and this is kind of McFarlane-esque stuff. Of course, you've got Two-Face, you've got Hercules, you got Batgirl, you've got a camoed out Batman Urban Warfare, and then you got Santa Claus Joker. I'm not picking any of these up, but I thought I'd tell you about them. I think they're, I want to say between $25, $30 each. I don't know. That's a lot for 90s articulation, but I mean, it's done in a certain style, so I get it. But the great part about that is, and I might end up picking this up, is the Batman, and it's getting really hard for me not to pick up some of these vehicles. I don't have any room for them now. After I get some of the Rattlers and the Dragonflies, I guess I want to start hanging them off the ceiling as I've done before with a lot of this stuff. But they've got the animated Batwing, and it looks great, and it lights up, and hopefully it's about the same price or lower than the animated car. So it really looks fantastic. What else do we have? And keeping with the animated series, we've got Poison Ivy, Supergirl, and I'm not sure what this other girl is. But anyways, it's a 3-pack, so you can't buy them individually, and it's $60. That's a lot. That is a whole, I think that's Mr. Freeze's daughter. What do I know? But anyways, my brain jumps around a lot, guys. $60 is a lot for these figures. To me. But I don't know. I mean, probably works out, right? If each one of them's $20, something like that, I guess. But to me, there's not enough nostalgia or plastic here for me. I didn't grow. I was at the very, I don't know, the animated, I was actually in a phase right there in my life where, I had a bigger responsibility. So that's why I don't have a lot of ties to the Batman animated stuff, other than the vehicles, because the vehicles just look amazing. But anyways, there they are. Page Punchers. I think this is Morrison style. It looked good. They look good. I like that he's using the soft goods. That is amazing. I cannot stand plastic capes. So I'm excited about that. So exciting. That's good. We also have Page Puncher's Deathstroke. I think it's $29. I think these are $29 for the Robin and this one. Are they doing the Batman too? I think the Batman's in a separate series even. But anyways, I do know that Robin is in the Page Puncher series, and I do know that Deathstroke's in the Page Puncher series for $30. Where is his guns? Where's his guns already? He's called Deathstrokes. Anyways, I need more guns here, but whatever. We've been dealing with that forever. So he gives us those packs with extra weapons in it. So you just put them on him like that. He looks good. A great version of the great representation of the comic book version of Deathstroke there. So looking good. And I think this is kind of like to combat some of the resurgence of the scalpers for this figure. I think this figure's up there. Last week we talked about Solomon Grundy and the Batman. This is a great offering here for $40. I didn't know what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like 60, but $40 is fantastic. I would have loved to see. I know somebody in the comments corrected me that the bones here are not inlaid in the plastic, but if they were, holy moly, that'd be cool. But they're just painted on. But even still, it looks pretty great. So I don't know. I do dig it. So looks great. Moving on to kind of a Figma, I guess, Skull Knight. This looks like a beefy figure. I don't know anything about this figure other than it looks really great. Again, Figma, but it looks great, so I'm going to talk about it. I'm very leery of Figma as well. I tend to touch them with a feather. Mafex, like I said, Mafex has been the only company that has really pulled out some quality toys, and I'm not afraid to, pose them. Figma, SH Figure Arts, those guys, oh, so gentle. You got to be so gentle. So anyways, here's the Skull Knight. He looks great. Here's a close-up shot out of him. Look at those eyeballs, looking scary. I think it's a manga series. I'm all about the design here. The aesthetic looks crazy good. So anyways, you can buy the regular version, which is just the figure that you saw previously, for $84, something like that, $85. And you get a horse. I don't know if the horse is articulated or not, but the horse, if you buy it with the horse, the deluxe version, $120. If you buy it directly from the manufacturer. If you don't, then add another $20 to the price of each one of those. So, all right, back to McFarlane. Call of Duty Spawn. He looks cool, and he's got extra guns, so you can just use those for Deathstroke. There you go. And I think this is a cloth cape. So if I see this Spawn out in the open, he's mine. I'm not going to pre-order him, but I think I got a pretty good chance of finding him out in the open. And then you got another Call of Duty Spawn. I don't know if this is just a different edition of him with more guns. So looking great. Yeah, if I find him out in the real world, I'm picking him up. What else do we have here? Oh, finally, let's talk about some epic hacks. And let's talk about some epic prices. So, $40 for these epic hacks, 6-inch figures. Are they worth it? I don't know. I don't really know. I haven't played with one of these yet. I haven't reviewed one of these yet, so I wouldn't know about the articulation. I'm leery. I'm leery of them because I don't know what's going on with it. I think they've got some great potential. Look, just for $40 a piece, but this is what you get. So this is the female one in purple. It looks really good, but I don't know what she's got double jointed elbows. She's got double jointed knees that I can see. I don't think she has a waist cut, but she does have a cut at the upper torso. But can she, do ab crunches? I mean, I'm still stuck on that Black Widow buck. That is the most amazing buck that Marvel or Hasbro has ever come out with. That is the bomb. I love that thing. It's a step above I thought the Valkyrie was fantastic, but that particular buck with Black Widow, that's even more fantastic. So anyways, you have this one. I like all the different, you know, the rocket pack and the breather and the weapons. I like it, but is it enough to buy it? I don't know. So here's another shot when she's got like the mask on and stuff. They look good, but I don't know if it's enough to pick it up. And I also like this Conan the Barbarian looking warrior dude. Are those soft goods? I don't know. If they're not soft goods, then I don't want his legs to be traffic cone. That drives me up the wall when they traffic cone figures. I hate it. So anyways, guys, that is the news for the week. Let's get over and take a look at the haul. In between here, right before I came on, anyways, we had a little bit of a time in between, so I had to go take in a ball game. So anyways, let's get to the haul. Well, in between filming the haul and the news, had to take a little break at my place, Spring Creek. Yeah, I know it's a little controversial, but us Texans love our barbecue, and if you're watching somewhere where they don't have a Spring Creek, UK or Canada, one day you should come down here and try it. It's amazing. Well, all right, collectors, here we are back from some delicious Texas barbecue. If you guys ain't ever had Texas barbecue, man, so everybody's always wondering why people in the South are so chunky. I don't say the other word because people get offended, but so extra sized. Well, I'll tell you why. The Mexican food here, or the Tex-Mex food, out of control. The flavors that come from it. Texas barbecue, out of control. The tastes that come from it are insane. You know, I lived up on the East Coast for a long time. I lived in Florida for a long time. There is nothing like it. You need to come here, and if you're ever around here, there's a few places. Now here's where it's controversial, and I can feel somebody already, I know it's a toy channel, but let me just indulge me for just a few seconds. Because I know there's some people that live in the Texas area that might start throwing stuff at their TVs, or in the DFW area. But for consistency's sake and my palate, consistency, it has always been Spring Creek for me. I've always loved it, and I love their pecan pie or pecan cobbler with some ice cream, ribs, sausage. It's all amazing. But there are some other, and let me just tell you this. If you land in DFW, Fort Worth, Dallas, or I guess Dallas, Fort Worth, if you want to talk about it that way. But I'm partial to Fort Worth. Anyways, if you do land here and you want some Texas barbecue to understand what it tastes like, Spring Creek's a good start, but you could also try Angelou's, you could try Hurtados, or Hurtados. It's okay, man. Look, I'm just talking barbecue. And Hard Eight. Hard Eight is a really good place too. So anyways, you take your pick. I know there's a bunch of other places, but those are the ones that I like to go to consistently. But Spring Creek is always close by, so I always go there. So, but we have a lot of great Texas bar. Holy moly. I just cannot. You guys ever watch Jolly, that show with those British guys that eat stuff all around? Just telling you. That's why we're extra sized. Because food here, amazing. It's amazing. Anyways, let's get down to business. Let's get to what we're talking about here. Number one, the reason we talked about all that is because this is a giveaway video. And at the end of this, I'm going to tell you what to put in there. And it's related to what we just talked about. So, number one, what are you going to get with that? Well, you got your choice of between one of a retro eel, this little guy here, or an M. Bison from the Street Fighter series, or a $25 gift certificate to Gridiron, which I am not supported by Gridiron in any or sponsored or anything from Gridiron. But Gridiron, if you'd like to, it won't stop me from talking smack though. It won't do it. Anyways, I just like the company. I just like the company. They've always been stand-up people, and every time I asked them to, honor their product, they've done so. They've come through and they've come through amazingly well. Memberships, I'm still thinking about what to do with that. Again, I'll never put my content behind a paywall or some Patreon BS or all that stuff. I just feel dirty about that. I mean, I know some content creators do it. Do I think there's something wrong? No, not if they're doing it if they're doing it, to maybe, do something with their income or sustain their income or something, or sustain this plastic habit. Well, then, good for them. But for me, that's not my motivation. My motivation isn't money. My motivation isn't, you're not going to get rich doing toy stuff. It's just not going to happen. But if somebody wants to give it a go, well, then give it a go. But for me, the motivation is spreading joy across the community, informing the community, growing the community, and ensuring that maybe one day this channel will be big enough to push our voice onto the manufacturers, to let them know what we want. Since we are now one of the biggest demographic for toy makers. So they have to know what we ask for. You don't have to do any research, just tune in. And so I guess they've been tuning in a little bit, because I've noticed some changes. I've noticed some changes for the better of us, adult toy collectors. So I'm still thinking about that, mulling through what do we do with the membership. So what do we put that money to? Maybe bigger, better prizes, maybe bigger giveaways. Maybe I can get some more time to, I used to love doing those riddles. I don't know if you guys remember, but if you guys were part of the channel way back when, I used to do riddles all the time, and some of them were tough. Some of them took days to solve, but I don't know. I feel like doing one now. We'll see. I went back to check on that Wonder Woman. Whoever mentioned it in the channel. Yes, I also had flashbacks of Frankenberry, which I still haven't found. That, but I'm not hard up for it or anything like that. What I'm probably going to do is, like I said, just wait for the September, October, onslaught of toys that hits Ollie's and that hits Ross and all those places. I'm sure there'll be a few in there. That's what I'm hoping for. So, and that Wonder Woman was a statue. So somebody mentioned it in the comments. I said, I don't think that was what I think you thought it was. And they were right. I'm not sure who, was it Chris? I don't know. Anyways, one of you guys mentioned it in there, and I was like, nah, for sure it's an action figure. I went back out there, it's a statue. So I still have yet to find a Wonder Woman out there. So let's keep going. So, you know what? And also, for a special treat, I've got the first ever unboxing on this show. Only because, I'm not a big fan of the unboxings, but, only because this showed up literally just as I started recording. That was that break there. So, let's do an unboxing. Why not? For some of you that like unboxings, you might already have a hint as to what it is. Anyways, let's get to it. Let's see what did we pick up this weekend. Well, number one, let's just start out, or this week. Number one, let's just start off with, actually, this is my favorite pickup of the week because I didn't pick it up. The person that picked this up, great friend of the channel, one of the first, friends of the channel that we had on here, one of the first, and always been a loyal, commenter, subscriber, just a great person all around. Figure Fever has his own channel. Go check it out. I asked him to keep an eye out for a Bartman for me. So there you go, Mr. Bartman. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Figure Fever, for picking that up for me. So glad I got that. I'm just excited to collect that line. And again, it's a lower price line, so I really like that. And it brings a smile to my face. I mean, I was there for the first episodes of The Simpsons way back when they were on the Tracy Ullman show, I think. How did I not forget her name? I forget everything else. Anyways, let's move on from that. Big savings on another U-Wing from the Micro Galaxy series. There it is. I think these were $35. Picked it up for $19.99. Get a deal where you can get it. Let's see what else. Oh, timeout. Well, when I heard myself say get a deal where you can get it, when I did go back to check for that Wonder Woman, look what I found. And I don't know if this was there yesterday or not at that GameStop down in Arlington. It's the Adam West classic TV series Batman. He's got a soft goods cape. See, that's one of the things that I think they're listening to now. they're listening to us say we don't like those plastic capes. I must not be the only one who detests them. But maybe I'm the only one that graphically shows how much I detest those plastic capes. I hate them. I hate those capes. So anyways, we've got Adam West there. Oh, use my veteran discount. Got my $5 off on it, and it ended up being like 16 bucks. So what a deal. What a deal. All right, the rest of this stuff, not a deal. The rest of this stuff is full price. I got 2 of these through the mail today. One to keep mint, one to turn into a recon vehicle. Look at that. Or halfway recon, because I want to keep the rockets on it. So it'll be like a halfway recon vehicle. So we've got one of these. Hold on, let me find out where to put this. Right there. And I picked up another one. So there's 2 of these stingers. So there's that. Where am I going to put this? I'll just put it right back where I found it. There you go. Now, what else did we get through the mail? Some other cool stuff for a project. So you can put Dr. Mindbender's evil pets in here. That's pretty good. What else? 2 of these came in the mail. Sergeant Slaughters, not the ones that I told you weren't going to find. The ones with the hat, with the campaign hat off of him, the drill instructor hat. I don't need those. I mean, if I happen to find one out there in the wild, maybe I'll pick it up, but it's not going to hurt my feelings if I don't. Also picked up a Buck Rogers. I mean, not that anybody, I don't think they even got inspired, but it just happens to look so much like the Buck Rogers, the Aaron Gray version of the Buck Rogers. I don't know. You guys remember what I'm talking. Well, you guys got gray on your face. Remember what it is. I remember watching that show. I loved that show, Buck Rogers. Aaron Gray. Anyways, what else did I pick up? Well, I hemmed and hawed about this. I really like this series. I know some people poo-poo it, but you know what? I just like these. I don't know. I just like a good. Maybe it's because I grew up watching the old style of this particular series. Why I'm stuck on it. Planet of the Apes. I don't know. I just liked it. I know some people have controversy with that. How many times can I say it? I just want a good story. I don't want to solve people's problems or save the world. I don't care about all that mess, especially when I go. I have enough of that in the real world. All I want to do right now is listen to a good story. That's it. So, people can bring controversy into it if they want, but I don't want to solve the world's problems. All right, what else? Found another super battle droid. Picked that up. What else did we find? We didn't find this. This went back up for sale early this week. I forgot what day it was. It could have been Wednesday or Tuesday. I don't know what day it was. But I thought I'd completely missed out on it. And I was like, well, win some, you lose some. But I checked early Wednesday, Tuesday morning, and there they were. Look at that. I completely thought I missed out on the, Street Fighter type looking Sentinels or the X-Men type looking Sentinels, arcade ones. Got them. Excited about that. What else did we pick up? Oh, this one just came through the mail yesterday. Very happy to find this one. And that is the Rambler. Do you guys see who that is? It's the Rambler. It's not the Rambler. It's not. It's a Spider-Man character. Morales. Anyways, love it. Loving it. Now let's do the unboxing. So, where is the knife? 1 second. Well, I couldn't find a knife, so I'm gonna use the keys. All right, so here we go. I don't know what condition these are gonna be in. No idea. But you might have an idea because I did mention it earlier. So, I got 2 of them. Let's see what condition they are. Can you already tell? It looks like Walmart did a yeoman's job of this. Here we go. You see it? The Venom and Venom. Oh, daggum. I guess this one's the opener. This one's got a little bit of damage there on the side. This one's the opener. Let's see if the other one has some damage. So it's Venom, the exclusive Venom. This one looks good to go. It's also crushed. I don't know, I have to get, it's kind of crushed here. I don't know, we'll see. Which one's least crushed? Which one can I pop back out? You guys don't want to see me do that. Anyways, so that was it. That's the haul. Now, what is the word that I want you to use in this comment section so we can qualify for the giveaway? Here's what we're going to call it. In the comment section, all you have to type in is Texas space BBQ. That's it. That's it. Be a subscriber. Make sure your notifications are turned on because like I said last time, I had to go through 3 people before I was able to get, I can't even give stuff away sometimes on this channel. But anyways, so Texas, and I'll put it down here exactly what I want you to type in. Use it in a sentence or just type it as is. And make sure you get notified. I put posts up, like on Instagram, I put stuff. I put stuff in the videos when people win. And we'll do the drawing September. We're going to do the drawing on September 28th, which is, I think, the 3rd or 4th week of September. September 28th is when we're going to do it. I think it's a Saturday. So I'll put the official things there. Don't forget the official rules and guidelines and all that stuff are in the description of this video. So make sure you follow it. And just for argument's sake, Canada, we just had a Canadian winner and I just shipped their stuff to Canada. So Canada can participate and all of the United States. And yes, I know, Puerto Rico is part of the United States, in case somebody didn't know or in case somebody thought they were educating me. I lived on this planet long enough to know that, yes, Puerto Rico is a part of the United States. And I'll even ship it to Alaska. I'll even ship it to Hawaii. So there you go. Anywhere in the United States, except I don't think I can send it to military POs. I think they don't like that. So I remember when I was a soldier, the only people who could send me stuff were like people that I put on a list, and they could. Anyways, things may have changed since then, and plus I was in a weird unit, so who knows. Anyways, look at this. There have been some changes here. Number 1, you can see Beachhead right up here. I think he's a fantastic figure. So I got Beachhead up here, and back there behind Cable is Wreckage. So Wreckage is up there, and then I think, yeah, the Bone Collector's right up there at the top. So that's what's at top of mind right now. That's what I'm really digging at the moment. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, turn those notifications on so you can know when I'm giving stuff away, and you've got 48 hours to give to you. I enjoy doing this hobby. I'm still thinking about what to do with memberships. Put your idea down there in the comments as well. And maybe we'll figure something out. Something that can help us out in the community, right? We'll figure it out. Never a paywall. I hated that. Boy, did I hate that. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. If you're doing this hobby and you got a smile on your face, you're doing it right. Guys, thank you so much for watching. As long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep rolling out.